The Apple car will crush Tesla. Let me put that another way. Apple is rumored to be working on a self-driving vehicle, and Apple only makes a product if Apple can do it better. If you're wondering why, a recent consumer survey shows that people love the quality of the Apple car. Even though it doesn't currently exist, you have to think about what the company does best. While they may be known for the invention of the Macintosh computer, the company's strength isn't necessarily invention, it's reinvention. When Apple enters a new market, they don't view the existing products as a standard that they must live up to. Instead, they view them as mock-ups, something unfinished and unpolished upon which they can improve. In the late 90s, the MP3 player was advanced technology, but it was bulky. The buttons often made navigation tedious. It could only hold 10 to 20 songs, and it could take hours to transfer those songs to the device. That is, until Apple reinvented it. In October of 2001, Steve Jobs announced the sleek new iPod. Its design was elegant. It featured a scroll wheel that made navigation simple, and it could hold up to 1,000 songs. People could transfer them within minutes. The iPod changed the way people listened to music. In the early 2000s, the smartphone was advanced technology, but most were designed with a low-resolution screen on the top and numeric keys on the bottom. They featured simple cameras and basic applications. People used it for voice calls and texting. But then Apple reinvented it. In January of 2007, Jobs unveiled the first iPhone. He described it as an iPod, a phone, and an internet communicator combined. It changed the way people used their phones. In the mid-2000s, the tablet was advanced technology, but its design was clunky and heavy. You needed a stylus to navigate it. It only had 4 to 5 hours of battery life because its desktop operating system used a lot of power, and they cost thousands of dollars. That is, until Apple reinvented it. In January of 2010, Jobs stepped onto the stage to announce the new iPad. It was thin and lightweight. It featured multi-touch, which eliminated the need for a stylus. It had longer battery life because it used iOS, the iPhone's operating system, so it didn't need as much power. And it was half the cost of its competitors. The iPad changed the way people did almost everything. In 2005, Google introduced Google Maps. It was cutting-edge technology, but the information was sometimes inaccurate or out of date. That is, until Apple introduced Apple Maps in 2012. And, well, nobody's perfect. Admittedly, these innovations have one thing in common: Steve Jobs. But this spirit of innovation still seems to exist under the leadership of Tim Cook. Apple recently reinvented one of its features on the iPhone 14. Up to this point, the notch at the top of the screen did nothing more than house the camera and other key components. But in September of 2022, the company revealed its new dynamic island. It can now display notifications, and users will eventually be able to monitor live activities such as sports scores or the status of their Uber ride. Elon Musk has called the development of the Apple car an open secret. He says that he expects it to be compelling, and with good reason. Because if Apple does decide to enter the automotive industry, the company has already proven time and time again that it can successfully and artfully reinvent the wheel. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and why not watch another one?